Hello everyone, welcome to Learn English with Vocabulary. In today's session, I am going to cover some words that start with wind. So, today's session is about the word wind. Wind, W-I-N-D, wind. First of all, as a noun, so wind is the air that moves quickly. You know, you know that air is the composition of many gases, but when this air moves by the force, natural forces, then it is called wind. So, guys, wind can be light, strong, high. Light wind, strong wind, high winds, and depending on from which direction the wind is blowing, you can say north wind, south wind, east wind, or west wind. Wind can also be biting when it is very cold, cold wind. And when wind moves, you say wind is blowing. For example, the wind is blowing from the north. So it is very biting, very chilling, very cold. The tree were swaying in the wind. The trees were swaying in the wind means the trees were moving side to side by the force of wind. So you say in the wind, the trees were swaying in the wind, not by the wind. When a strong wind comes, you just for a short time, it's called gust, a gust of wind. A gust of wind came and just blew off my papers. Gust of wind came and blew off my papers. A gust of wind blew off my hat. Prevailing wind, the wind at a particular time. This wall can support little from the prevailing wind, means whatever wind is blowing, this wall can give only a little relief. When the wind gets up, it starts to blow. Suppose right now there is no wind and suddenly the wind starts blowing, means it's getting up. And when the wind is blowing and suddenly it stops blowing, you say the wind has dropped. The wind has dropped. Wind can also mean the gas, stomach gas. When you eat spicy or oily food, and when it doesn't get digested, your stomach just blow off, and you say that you have gas. So I don't want this spicy oily food because it gives me wind. And when you are taking strenuous exercise or running, you are out of breath. So uh, the breath you get, it's called wind. I need some time to get my wind back after this trekking. Moving on. Okay. The cooker is whistling away. Idioms. Break wind. Break wind is kind of farting. Mhm. And get wind of something. When you get wind of something, It means you got some secret. You know what? Mr. X and Mrs. Y are going to get divorced. Where did you get the window of it? This was an example. In the wind. When something is in the wind, it is about to happen. But you don't know when and you don't know how. Inflation is in the wind. You don't know when will it come, but it is about to come. Just an example. Next is take the wind out of somebody's sails. When something takes the wind out of somebody's sails means it makes that person feel less confident. When he was singing a song, people didn't like his song and they started throwing eggs, tomatoes, or whatever they had in their hands, and it took the wind out of his sails. Move like the wind or run like the wind means to move very quickly or run very quickly. Come here like the wind, come here quickly. Now, wind can also be used as a verb. It means wind means to unable to breathe for a short period of time because you got hurt or something. Like he was momentarily winded by the blow to his stomach. So this verb is usually used in passives. It is not used in active. He was wind means he was out of breath. He was unable to breathe normally. Secondly, wind means to get the gas out of your stomach. Lie the baby on the bed and press its back to wind it. To wind it means to get the gas out of its stomach, to make it burp. Another type of verb is wind. Now you will pronounce it wind, not wind. When you pronounce it like wind, it will mean that you are trying to twist the knob or handle of something, especially a machine, twist or turning it several times in a circular motion. It's called wind. Did you just wind your watch? Wind your watch. It's not moving. Means to give your watch wind. Wind, not wind, sorry. When something wind, it uh, breaks into many twists and turns. The roads winds around this mountain. And to wrap something round and round, the nurse gently wrapped the bandage around my injured finger. And he bound the cotton or the wool into a wall. Bound means just press it down and made a wall out of it. Next is move upward or downwards. You might have seen when you are sitting in the car on a bus, there are some window panes. So there's a button by your side. You can press the button and you can wind the window. You can wind a window or window pane. It's called winding. Please wind your window pane and wind somebody up. It's a phrasal verb which means to annoy somebody deliberately because you want to irritate that person, so you are winding them up. Can't you see that he's binding you up? Don't get angry, he's trying to wind you up. And wind down. When you wind down something, you slowly bring it to normal and finally you stop it. The government has decided to wind down this nuclear project. Wind back. Now, it's not a verb, it's a noun, compound noun. Wind back. Someone who is a windbag is one who talks a lot, so many words, and all he talks is nonsense. There is no science, nothing important. My friend is a windbag. He's always talking nonsense. Now, wind chimes. Wind chimes, you might have seen some. It's kind of device that makes very musical and melodious sound when you hang it at the door, and when the wind blows, the rings that are hanging on it, they just strike with each other and they produce very melodious sound. It's called wind chimes. And next, winder. Winder, W-I-D, winder is the knob to the clock, to the watch that you twist, that you wind to start the watch again. Windfall. Windfall is some fruits that are dropped by the wind are called windfall. Windfall apples, windfall guavas, windfall tamarinds, windfall flowers. But windfall can also be unexpected, something that is unexpected and very pleasurable, a reward. He was not expecting, and he got his check cashed, and suddenly there was a windfall of 1 lakh rupees. This hike in the DA is a windfall to all the employees. And now wind gaze. Wind gaze is anemometer, device that can measure the speed of wind, is called wind gaze. Anemometer. Wind instrument. Wind instruments are the musical instrument that play when you blow air through them. Such instruments are called wind instrument, like trumpet, flute, mouth organ. They are all wind instruments. Windpipe. This is your windpipe, or it is in scientific language called trachea or windpipe. It is connected to your lungs and sends air to the lungs. Now, windscreen or windshield. Windscreen or windshield are the front glass in a vehicle. They are called windshield or windscreen. Windsock. Now, what windsock is? You might have seen near an airport or aerodrome or helipad, when some plane or helicopter is about to land. They just pitch a pole, a very long pole, and on the top of the pole they tie a piece of cloth that is cylindrical in shape and long, and open at both sides, and when the wind blows through it, it is blown up, and it is used to show the direction, in which direction the wind is blowing, so that the pilot can understand in which direction the wind is blowing, and accordingly he will make a safe landing. So this ballooning piece is called windsock. Now, windsurfing or windsurfer, guys, you might have seen some surfers that on the very high waves of the sea, they just surf, and they have a very small boat with sail. They keep holding on to the sail and keep swimming, and the wave of water comes and it just breaks over them. So this boat, I hope you got what boat I'm talking about. It's called windsurfer. This board is called windsurfer. It is also called sailboard, and this entire process is called windsurfing. And finally, windy. Something which is windy is full of wind. Like today is windy, means today the wind is blowing very fast. Windy. Windy can also mean a speech which is full of complicated, complex word, difficult to understand and not clear, and full of so many words. So it's a windy speech. So he made a windy speech, and people got bored and just started to go away. So, guys, this is all about in today's session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.